over there around Layla Ali and, you know, I mean, the potential fight with you and her?
No, let's just let that die because she's not serious.
She's not, is she?
My name Clock. Yep, and I'm not even gonna give her that energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how easy it is to me. If you don't like me right and you want to fight me right, all you have to do is say, okay, you want to fight, and we will make a deal. She's the biggest women fighters known, right? People have not ever made money off of because the only woman that ever fought on pay-per-view was Jackie Frazier and Layla Ali. And that fight only did 100,000 pay-per-view buys. So that's what they judged off of. Like, oh, if the greatest daughter can only do 100,000 pay-per-view buys, how many buys can these other women do? And they haven't given us a chance since.
To be fair, like when you saw each other at the ESPYs, you've never disrespected her. You've never started anything. It was more her coming at you, I felt.
No, and that's correct. Like, it started from her a couple years ago in the Breakfast Club. And I even said then, I'm like, look, I don't want to fight her because, you know, she's retired. But if somebody calls me out and says they can knock me out and they'll beat me, it's like, what am I supposed to say back? Like, if you scared of her and feel like she can't do those things, you don't say nothing back. But when you know that you unfuckwittable, that you cannot be beat, you're the greatest woman of all time, then you gotta always stand your ground. So it was like, she thinks she is, you know. So I responded off of that, but you know, she had my number. She could have texted me. You know, she knew how to get in contact with me various ways, and she did it because she's always felt threatened by me.
Is there any names you want to call?
Wow. Those are the words of Claressa Shields as her response to the comments that Layla Ali have made against her. If you guys don't know, Layla Ali said that, you know, in shape, she could beat her easily. Claressa Shields, she's not a good enough boxer. She doesn't have enough power for me. She's not, you know, she lacks certain things. She struggled with fighters that she shouldn't have struggled with. And with me, with an in-shape version of myself, boxing-shape version of herself, she would be able to dismantle Claressa Shields. Claressa Shields responds back with, of course, hey, I'm not giving that too much energy. She has my number. I never really tried to call her out because she's retired. And I think that, you know, if a person is supposed to be the baddest person on the planet, or, you know, like Layla Ali claims, she would have called her, picked up the phone, made that fight happen, got with her people, and her people got with her people, right? And made that fight happen. Now, there is some truth to that. I feel that the energy that she claims that she's not giving Layla Ali, she's actually giving Layla Ali because, of course, you know, she went in. Okay, she went in on Layla. She didn't stay long, you know, for what I'm looking at that clip. But I do think that Claressa Shields blames Layla Ali for women boxing being the way it is now, you know. And I think that was one of those things, you know, with Christy Martin and Layla Ali. But you have to understand, you have to start somewhere. Because women boxing, if you go back in time, you know, you really only had like maybe 3 noticeable boxers, and now you have 4. Think about it. We had Christy Martin. Layla Ali came a little later. She was a lot bigger, a lot taller. You know, Jackie Frazier was one that people thought of. Frida Foreman. But really, though, it was basically Christy Martin, Layla Ali, and Mia St. John. Because she was the undercard of a lot of those Oscar De La Hoya bouts. Those venues. Those cards there. Then now you have Claressa Shields. So it hasn't been a lot of breakthrough boxers. I think UFC has actually surpassed boxing for boxers because not a lot of women box now. You can't find a lot of competition. You know, that's what shout out to Ring IQ. You know, he keeps you in the loop with female boxers, but they don't really make much buzz. Think about it. Layla Ali is 43 years old, or 42, right? And the time that it'll take her to get in shape if she was going to fight someone like Clarissa Shields would be 8 months to a year. She would be 43 years old. Okay, so, you know, that shows you there's been a lull in this time where we hadn't seen a lot of female fighters. You know, especially the ones that reach the headlines. You know, like Layla, Christy Martin, Mia St. John, you know, and now Clarissa Shields. And now Clarissa Shields feels like, hey, it's her fault that we didn't get so far. But I mean, how far are we going to go? Because there was nothing really consistent for female boxing. So I don't think Clarissa should blame Layla Ali for that, because I think this is what the bulk of that is about. You know, now I do agree with her. Like, hey, if she really wants to fight, like, hey, you don't have to talk shit about it. You can always call me, you know, feeling intimidated. I'm not sure about intimidation. You know, if there is any truth to that, like about the pay-per-view sales and the amount of revenue that Layla made in her career, you know, the only thing I could see if she feels that way, or her saying that about Layla Ali, maybe she started making more money than Layla did in her career. Okay. But I do feel, honestly, each generation that surpassed the next is supposed to make more money and everything. Money was even different back then anyway. You think about $1 million in 2020 versus $1 million in 1990 or 2000. That's a big difference. Things were a lot cheaper. Gas, everything. Mortgage, rent, beer. Things were a lot different back then. So, you know, so with Clarissa Shields, I think it's up to her to see what she can do to, you know, to pass or to elevate the women's sport of boxing. But again, she's going to have to need someone that can challenge her. You know, why do you think this Layla Ali, Clarissa Shields deal was already? Because Layla Ali's undefeated, Clarissa Shields undefeated, one from one generation, the other one from this generation. And it just shows you how less of opposition that Clarissa Shields has. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. And you know, people from the generation before, even though they're not fighting, they still have a high account of themselves. They look at themselves high and what they could do, you know. But you have to remember something about Layla Ali. Layla Ali, I feel, and like a lot of other people that's retired, they look at their best moments when they were fighting to the current prime fighter. Okay, so that's what they do, I feel, you know. And it's just not Layla Ali, it's a lot of people. A lot of people having that mind, in a perfect world, in my perfect mind, spirit, prime and everything, I could beat that person that's fighting today. Maybe that's true, but the fact of the matter is that ain't that time. Father Time has surpassed that. Okay, so I want to throw that in there. But Clarissa Shields, you know, I'm actually kind of impressed with her, because, you know, normally she would go off on rants and things that way, and then she's known to do some unclassy stuff. Well, in this case, it wasn't that bad. So, you know, and then she had some key points there. You guys tell me what you think about Clarissa Shields responding to Layla Ali. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunched. Peace.